Zep, did you hear about Preach situation? What do you mean? No? Is Preach okay? He's getting evicted. What? What? Oh my god, I didn't know about that. When did he talk about that? What happened? Oh my god, I didn't know about that. Okay, let me look into this situation right now. I'm shook by the news. I didn't know this. Yeah, let me find the link to when Preach was talking about this. This is crazy, crazy, crazy bad. I didn't know. Let me see. Here it is. I found it. Thank you, anti-clockwise. Oh my god. I can't believe this. I can't believe this right now. Okay. We gotta watch this.
I have some I have some news for you guys. As you guys know, it's not been a particularly great 12 months for my personal life. You know, from the studio being destroyed, to my car being turned into a cube and still having to pay for it, to my family being sideswiped off the road. But I got more.
Yeah. So, just like a week or two ago, his wife and kids were in a car accident. Thankfully, they were okay, but his car got destroyed in the process because they were sideswiped by some guy. That just happened. And he also, and this is all within the past year, had the previous studio got flooded. Oh my god.
News yesterday. Would anybody like to guess as to what happened yesterday evening at 5 p.m? I would love it if you guys could take a guess as to how bad this is. More water? Related. Related. It is somewhat related. Loosely, very loosely.
It's related to what?
Loosely. The only way I could bring this to you is I'm actually going to read to you. I'm actually going to read this to you. Because it's the only thing that will make sense as to how absurd this situation is that I now have to deal with. So,
okay.
I'll turn the music down a little bit because you're actually not going to believe how f***ed I am. Genuinely. Okay, I'm laughing because it's just absurd. Okay. This is an email sent from my wife to our landlords, right? We rent our home. This is the email sent. Good evening.
Okay.
I am emailing you for the 4th time. With regards to the toilet at our address, it is completely blocked since the repairs were done a few weeks ago. We have used several methods to try and unblock it. However, it still isn't working, and there is clearly waste stuck in the pipe, and a pungent smell of waste is fermenting there. So, my bath was leaking, remember? It was leaking into the living room. There was water pouring into my living room, and they have now repaired the bathroom twice. Because they repaired it once and it didn't work, and they've repaired it again. But in doing so, they have caused a problem in the toilet. So using the toilet downstairs.
Okay.
Okay. As I mentioned during our phone call last week and in previous emails, the bathwater is still coming. The bathwater, since the repairs, is coming out of the tap with black ash in it. So since they did the repairs, when we run a bath, there is all this like black bits of stuff in the bathwater. That just keeps coming out of the pipes, right?
Okay, so the landlord
with black ash in it. I have contacted
that.
United Utilities, and there are no water issues in the area, so they have advised this must be coming from the pipe work to do with the bath repairs. So
Sounds
these are
like
the two issues, right?
Okay.
Additionally, the gas cooker.
But why? It's like, why are you the? You shouldn't have to be the one who's calling to figure out what the issue is, right? That's the landlord's responsibility.
Ignition has still not been fixed on the gas hob, which your contractor told us was illegal. I have sought legal advice on this and been told this is a complete safety hazard. I did speak to your office last week again for the 2nd time about this, yet no authorization has been done for the works. So our gas cooker is currently illegal. Doesn't work. The bathroom light, after the repairs, still smells like it is burning, which it does. If you turn the light on in the bathroom, it smells like something is burning. It doesn't always turn on, which it doesn't. You turn the light switch on, the light stays off, and then sometimes it comes on but smells like it's burning.
Oh my God.
And it
Oh
just
my God.
smells like a fire is about to start if we have the light on in the bathroom, and it is almost directly above the bath, and as a reminder, the light doesn't even turn on.
That sounds like
I
a
am
serious
unclear
hazard.
why the landlord is refusing to complete these works, as they are safety issues at the property. There is toxic waste in the toilet that hasn't been flushing properly, and we have the smell of burning, and leaks are still happening, and now we have a new leak, which we do, in the living room.
This is horrific. Do we know how long he's been living there? Like,
Above the light switch, 2 wet patches of...
he said it sounds more like a city thing that needs to fix it. Even if that is the case, that should be, first of all, that should be something that the landlord discovers, because it's their responsibility to diagnose the problem and solve it. And if they come to the conclusion that they cannot solve it at the property, then they need to allow Mike and his family to break their lease.
begun to appear every time we use the water upstairs, including the sink.
12
Please,
years.
can you come back to us on this situation? Okay, so those are the main issues at our house, and we have 2 new wet patches. All right, so that's the email that Emma sent.
Oh my God.
Not yesterday, the day before. All right, so that was an email sent on Monday, which was the follow-up email to several other emails. All right. Let me now take you guys to 5 p.m. yesterday. Well,
So they're
6
not,
p.m.
basically, they're not doing about it.
6 p.m. I'm in the kitchen. I'm cooking dinner for the family. They're on the way home. I'm making some wonderful salad and minced tacos for the kids and Emma. And Emma walks into this. Dear tenants of my house, we are invoking Section 21, reclaiming your property.
Oh,
You have 2 months to vacate the property and leave. If you have any issue with this, you can contact the Citizens Advice Bureau, but be aware that we have invoked this, and yeah, you have till July 14th to be out of the property. I am being kicked out of my house. After 12 years, at the property, I am being kicked out of my house.
oh my God.
And I have 2 months to find a new home.
Holy.
It doesn't sound legal. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not legal, as does the rest of my team who've been looking to this last night, including Emma, is apparently a Section 21. And I want to point out, this Section 21, just to give you some clarity of this, is an ability that landlords have, which is, even though we have a lease on the property, which extends into next year, they are fully able to just kick you out of the house whenever they want with 2 months' notice, regardless of if you have a contract or not. This bill, Section 21, is actually due to be struck down. It is currently going through Parliament, as it is obviously bullshit, because we have a contract with them, and it is due to be removed from legislation in the upcoming months, but it's still there now.
It's still in effect, though.
And it is also illegal. A landlord cannot serve Section 21 where the following steps apply. Before the service of the Section 21 notice, the tenant has made a complaint to the landlord or the landlord's agent in writing about the condition of the property, including parts due for repair.
Doing the exact same thing to me right now.
Oh.
We have a month from right now.
So that's already covered for. So they can't legally kick you out if you have just complained about stuff that needs to be fixed, because they don't want it to be used for exactly the reason that his landlord is attempting to use it right now, which is reading all the shit that he needs to fix and being like, you know what? F it and f them. I'm not going to do any of this shit. So bye. Like, instead of putting the money into repairing it, they're just trying to, you know, forget about it. And that is this has already been accounted for in the law. Thankfully, they have already considered that, and you're not allowed to use this for that purpose, to get out of doing the repairs.
I feel you.
I mean, this is
Oh my God.
possibly the most absurd situation. Literally.
Who's this? This is my friend Preach. Preach Gaming. He's a good friend of mine, and God, I just found out about this today.
Literally what happened?
Apparently, this just happened.
Literally what happened is that's point one, that they cannot do this if you have condition reports. Because I guess what's happening here, now we've had to start looking at other properties in the area, is that house prices have skyrocketed so much and rental has skyrocketed so much that because he's now having to actually do repairs on the house, is that he's seen it as an opportunity to kick us out, do the repairs, and jack the rent up through the roof for
yes, that's actually it. Oh my God, that's actually
somebody else.
Yes, so that he can jack up the prices for the next person.
Is what's happening. That's what's going on right now.
Dude.
So I would assume that's what's going on. Obviously, they're refusing to speak
exactly
to us
what's going
on the
on.
situation. And have that. That's what's going on. Yeah, I believe that's... I mean, there's no other thing that makes sense to me. I've met the landlord once. He's a very... Not too bad, but he's a very meek man who's admittedly never worked in his life. His father gifted him several properties for rent, and he has just lived off rent for the entire adult life he's had. It's about as cliche as it gets. But I am now...
Feel free to shit on your landlord now, dude. Nobody will blame you for using this opportunity to publicly roast your landlord.
Going to be homeless.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And
oh my
I'm
God.
just like, what did I do, man? Not to be a fucking sourpuss about this, but this last 12 months, man,
he's had
been
really
the
bad
most
time.
absurd, nonsensical bullshit that I've had to deal with ever.
Yes.
Ever. Well, we might
he's honestly had such a horrible year.
have to get rid of the office. Like, that's the reality, because there's no properties in this area that are remotely feasible for me and a family of 4.
Wait.
So
wait.
Because there's no property. I've been the most absurd, nonsensical bullshit that I've had to
Did
deal
he say
with.
has to get rid of that?
Ever. Well, we might have to get rid of the office. Like,
Might
that's
have-
the reality, because there's no properties in this area that are remotely feasible for me and a family of 4. So I honestly have no idea what we're going to do. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, I have 2 months to resolve this, so I don't know, man.
2 months is not a lot of time. 2 months is not a lot of time to try to resolve this. Because it's like, okay, are you going to spend this 2 months trying to pack up all of your and like rethink where you're going to move next? Or are you going to use this 2 months trying to fight it? And then do you really want to do that? You know, do you really want to fight this legally? And then you fought the landlord and you won. Well, what happens next? You know, your landlord will find ways to make your life miserable even more than they already are doing that. And that's a really scary situation to be in as well. You've literally sued your landlord and won, and now what? You know, like this can be so bad. I can just see the situation becoming so bad. As much as I agree some landlords are a pain, at the end of the day, they own the property and should have the right to evict people living in the house they own at any point. I personally give a few months notice. Well, they need to do that within the confines of the law. And the law states that you cannot do this immediately after they have submitted in writing requests for repairs, just to use this as a way to get out of taking care of the property and just, you know, pushing them out and getting the next people in, right? So no. There are, of course, always going to be some circumstances where, like, in a rare case, it is necessary to remove someone from a property. But this circumstance ain't it.
I don't know. I'm down on the floor right now.
Not at all. They've been there for 12 years.
Can't live in the office. Yeah, you can't live in the office. I wouldn't have my family living here or anything like that. That's
Oh my
just
God.
bizarre.
Oh my God.
That's just bizarre.
Oh my God.
So, I don't know. Obviously
What
spoke
are
to
you
Chris
gonna
this
do?
morning. We're going to try.
This is also much more complicated when you've got kids too, because like for me, I can easily pack up and go anywhere, anytime, but I can't imagine what if I had kids that were in school and then I got to think about where they're going to go next. Like, are you going to go to a different town? Oh my God, I'm so
Sort
stressed even thinking about it. It's not
something
even
out.
me.
I mean, because of the fact that this section is seemingly illegal, it might buy us 6 months, something like that, to try and sort something out. In a really weird twist of fate, my kids are so excited.
What?
because they don't understand like the nature of this situation. Because I've just had to buy a car because our car got written off, so I've got a car to pick up on Saturday. But my kids are so excited at the idea of James's immediate response to this. While Emma was in tears, she was like, Emma just looked at me. She's like, "What have we done? What have we done to deserve all this crap?" We haven't done anything.
You haven't done anything.
James was like, "Can I get a bigger bedroom?" You've got to love the nature of kids. You've got to love the nature of kids.
Well, yeah, it's awesome when you don't have to pay for any of it.
That was his concern.
You're like, hell yeah. Like, being a kid is great because you don't have to worry about any of that. It's like, okay.
I mean,
you're gonna have a new.
There is always room in my rat den for you, Sanch.
Yeah, the rat den. The rat den.
Get a
all
new
I've done
house.
for the last like 6 months is find the way of solving problems that have been nothing to do with us. Many of them I can't even talk about on stream because they're so absurd, but they're business related that we've had to deal with in the team.
Dude.
I don't know, man.
He doesn't even. I don't know what do you think he should do?
Damn. Do I miss blissful ignorance? Well,
Chat.
I keep saying to.
What would you do if you were in his situation? For me, I would get the fuck out. Like, if it were me, I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but I'm just saying what I would do is I would leave and I would maybe try to pursue it, but my immediate priority would be to get to a different location where, with a different landlord, and I would move. I would use the opportunity to move, but I wouldn't drop it. I would also, while making sure that we move somewhere else, I would also try to pursue this legally at the same time. But I wouldn't be hanging around this house at all, especially considering all the safety hazards that are present in the home.
To people, it's like, I'm getting really jaded. I'm getting very jaded with how much people...
All streamers are millionaires. Yeah, what happened to all those... Yeah, what happened to all the millions? What about the streamer millions, Mike?
Out to us, guys.
What about all that streamer millions that people say that we got?
Me and the rest of us out there, the common man, out there to us. They're out there to just
it's
take
hard.
everything from us, and it's making me very bitter and nasty.
Man, I'm so sorry.
It's making me very jaded.
I'm so sorry.
I was saying to Emma, I think we should sue. I think we should sue for stress, sue for it being unlawful. I think we should go at them. I'm kind of feeling like I'm out for blood. Yeah, I mean, I actually said to Emma last night,
Rat.
although I felt like me
exhausted.
Games, let me just mute that. I'll read that in a second. Not to be rude, Rubik, I just want to make sure I get this thought out. I actually said to Emma last night, you know what? I'm going to go to another solicitor about my car because it's wrong. It's wrong. And I play by the rules. I treat people fairly. I do what I think is best. Overly generous, sure. I would agree. Like, that's something Emma's been critical of. But I've got to go back to another solicitor because it's just wrong. It's wrong. These situations are just wrong.
It's true.
And I'm not prepared to not keep trying to go for blood. I look at what's happening with these rich getting away with blatant crimes and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like, we see it all the time, don't we, guys? We see it all the fucking time. Is these people getting away with shit that we would be in jail for any day of the week. We would be in prison for a lot of this shit. And then we're supposed to fucking take it. And sometimes you get yes, you do. Sometimes you get but I'm going to try. I'm going to try and do something because at this point, I ain't got much left to lose, man. You've taken my house. You've taken my car. Do you know what I mean? And all I'm trying to do is have a good time, man. I'm an entertainer, right? There are many tens and tens and tens, but not 100 plus, hundreds of thousands.
Dude, look, I've met Preach a few times now in person. And I have gotten to know him. And let me tell you, he's got to be one of the nicest, most generous people who's like really has a talent for bringing everybody together and making sure that everybody has fun. Like, he is really just such a solid, grounded, dependable person. Like, when you're around this person, you feel like, yeah, I can trust this person, you know, like it's just so, yeah, he's a leader, I would say. And he's a very, very compassionate person. And it sucks to see this happening. But I know that he's not going to take this line down. Like, I hope that he will sue, and I hope that he will get justice done for this, because this is actually horrible.
Thousands of people across the world who get a smile on their face when I do what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And then there's people like just trying to shit all over us every step of the way. But fuck them. The Rat Army says fucking no. No chance.
Dude.
I used to do somebody who worked for an insurance company. He told me if they can find any excuse. Yeah, the insurance company. We were talking about this with Chris, right? Because I put it out on Twitter the other day. Our insurance premium on the car has doubled.
So my partner and I managed to get a house, and we basically told our landlady to stick it because she tried to increase our rent by a stupid high amount. And the place had mold coming from inside the walls. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. Landlords. Why? Zep, did you ever get your stuff from your home in the Ukraine? Nope. Nope, it's all still there. And I really I really would like to get it, but my home is still there too. So it's okay. God. I wish the war would end so I could just go back. I really would. I would go back as soon as it was safe to do so, but it is not safe. It's probably not going to be safe for a long, long time. I have I'm in touch with a nice man in my neighborhood who he goes into the house and like trims the hedges and makes sure that there's no wild animals that have moved into the home. Make sure everything is okay. Like I still pay for the electricity and everything, so it's just like the day I left it. But thought it was cleaned out. No, well, we got robbed, but they only took valuable stuff, so I still have a lot of there. Yeah. The house is intact, thankfully, which is more than can be said for other houses in my neighborhood.
Yeah, Emma did nothing.
I was very fortunate.
She was sat in traffic, parked in the street. A truck drove into her car, and I will be paying the financial repercussions of that for the next 5 to 6 years.
Like a couple of weeks ago.
And she did nothing wrong. She did absolutely nothing. And it's not right. It's not fucking right. It makes me want to get into politics, fellas. I tell you, it makes me want to get into politics because fuck this situation. Fuck them. Yours is double as well. No claims, no accidents, not got anything to do with the crash.
So like the insurance wouldn't pay for this situation either?
It's for us. I don't know.
With his car?
That's what they're telling us. It's like, you made a claim. You used your insurance. Car is yeah, everything's again, I feel like some sort of jaded fucking guy at a pedestal right now, but we're all getting all the time, and I have never felt it as bad as I have in the last 12 months. I have never felt it as bad, where everybody we deal with behind the scenes, in front of the camera, like to the face, has just been
God
out to get us.
God.
And it really feels that way. It really feels that way. Like they're just out to fuck us every step of the way.
This is just so horrible.
It ain't right.
This is so horrible.
It ain't right. I'm done with it.
I wonder what we can do to help.
And I feel like it's making me a worse person, I'll be honest with you.
Nah.
I really do.
It's okay to seek justice in this case. We don't need to watch the entire 45-minute video right now. But I'll give the link to you if you want to watch it. But man, that's heartbreaking. I'm really, really upset to hear this. That especially after everything else he's been through in the past year. And now this on top of everything else. Like all of the most important things in his life has gotten up. Like his office got flooded. His car got destroyed. And now he's getting evicted. God, like it's horrific. Like, I thought my luck was bad, but I think Mike's might actually be worse. I think he has worse luck than me, which is really saying something. Insurance is paying for the value of the car, but that isn't enough to buy a new car. Oh, yeah. In other news, yeah, I wish Mike and his family the best, and I hope that they can get into a better home as soon as possible, so that they don't have to deal with this anymore. Because God, there's almost nothing worse than having a head landlord who won't fix things. This is an incredibly dangerous situation to be in. And then to be in that situation with your family when you have a wife and kids that are being endangered by their landlord's negligence. Like it sounds like even before they were evicted, they were in a pretty bad situation because there's like problems with the gas and there's waste fermenting in the toilet. There's black stuff coming out of the water faucets. Like this is stuff that you should like you can't ignore, but obviously they're not trying to ignore it. But it starts with, there's a point when the negligence of the landlord becomes very, very dangerous, and they know that. God, I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand how, as a landlord, you wouldn't see that as a priority and like as something to worry about. Like, I cannot get into the head of somebody who you're renting out the property to someone, they tell you there's problems, and then you think to yourself, nah, I'm not gonna do anything. Like, I can't comprehend this at all. Like, you just don't care. I can't comprehend not caring that much about someone else suffering. I can't. You don't give a at all. You don't care, even if it's your responsibility and you're supposed to care. You need to legally care. It doesn't even bother you. It doesn't even bother me. Some landlords are okay. Others just want to mooch off people and leech as much money from them as they can. Have I ever had a good landlord? Yeah. Yeah, my apartment complex that I was in Seattle was really good. That's because you weren't born a landlord. It's just, it's like I've heard this said before, like I don't know how to explain to you that you should care about other people. And if this doesn't come naturally to you, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. Like, you have one job, just use the money that you're receiving to fix the property. For a landlord. God. It's so scummy. I really hope that he gets justice for this situation. All the love from the buns to Mike. Yes. I hope that he can resolve the situation and that maybe he can get a bunch of support so that it will be easier for him. I read from a really sweet older couple, and they don't charge me anything for utilities because they like the security of someone who's around when they're not. That's good. In general, it's just really, it's a gamba who you're gonna end up with in charge of the property. You know, like, I don't need to have a, I really don't give a what kind of person the landlord is in my situation. All I want is for them to fix when I ask. That's it. Basically, there's two things I want out of the landlord. I want them to fix it when I ask, and I want them to stay out of my way and not talk to me. Like, leave me alone. Do not come in here. But if there's a problem, please fix it immediately. That's it.